carbon-plated Super Foam's free speed. Who doesn't love a pair of super shoes? It's tempting to just wear them for every single run. But what if wearing them for every run was not only damaging your bank balance, but damaging your body? The question is, how often should you run in super shoes? The evidence and research on super shoes is fairly limited. After all, they've only been available to the public for the last 5 years or so, so no one's really done a study on the long-term effects of using them every day. The combination of a thick layer of lightweight foam and a carbon fiber plate alters our biomechanics and can improve your running economy from anywhere from 2 to 6%. If you've never run in them before, it's a bit like bouncing along on a cushy platform that propels you forward. It sounds pretty cool, and they are. When you put it like that, it's no surprise to see them cropping up all over the place. And you'll see people wearing them just for casual runs and just for your casual park run even. And I think you'd probably see them even more if you went for the high price tag. But they really, for most of us, should be reserved for racing when you really want to go fast. A bit like the last generation's racing flats. They were only for competitions. Back when I used to wear racing flats, I really only used them for the occasional hard session and very minimally for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because they were so lightweight and there was such a little bit of foam there that they weren't very supportive, and I wanted to reduce the chance of injury. And secondly, because you really want to save that feeling of going fast and wearing the perfect shoe for race day. There was like some psychological benefit of strapping on those race shoes so that you could go faster. You had a boost almost before you even started running. It may be that that psychological boost is enough of a reason for you to keep your super shoes in their box until race day. And if that's not, maybe the financial side of how expensive they are is enough of a reason for you not to bring them out too often in training. But if money is no object for you and you don't really bother about the psychological boost, maybe we've got another reason why you should keep them in their box. It's time to take a look at the biomechanics of running in super shoes. The softer foam of super shoes causes your body to have to absorb less impact. Your body then compensates by not flexing your knee as much to absorb that impact, meaning your leg stays straighter and stiffer. This is what results in a lower energy cost of your running, which is a good thing. Also, the soft cushioning of that foam causes longer ground contact time, which is also not a bad thing. You compress that foam and it takes time to rebound and return that energy, which makes you go further and faster with each stride. But it also changes when and how your foot contacts the ground. All of this leads to more economical and faster running. But, and it's a big but, there have been some studies emerging, one as recently as August 2023, that has shown some correlation between training in super shoes and navicular bone stress fractures. There's also been some correlation between lower back and hip pain from training too much in the super shoes. It has to be said that these studies are yet to conclusively prove that it was the super shoes that caused this, but it's worth questioning. All this can leave you scratching your head. Surely you need to wear your super shoes quite a lot to get used to them so that you can get the most out of them on race day, but also you don't want to wear them too much so that you do still get that boost on race day. Well, let's give you some tips and some guidance on how best to incorporate super shoes into your training. Only start wearing them when you're injury-free and you are a conditioned runner. By that I mean you have got a stable base of mileage underneath you. Don't start wearing carbon fiber shoes at the same time that you increase either your mileage or your intensity. Incorporate your super shoes gradually. This means that you just want to start them with short runs in the super shoes. Now you could just use your easy short runs, but of course it's probably better to be closer to race pace when you use your super shoes. So maybe you want to start by just using them for a few of your reps in one of your harder sessions closer to race pace. There is no rule that says you can't use your super shoes in all of your training runs once you've built up to them and are conditioned to use them. But I would take a good hard look at your why. Ask yourself why you want to do that. It's a bit like putting a disc wheel on your training bike and just riding a disc wheel all the time. Sure, it feels fast and it is faster, but you don't really need that speed when you're training. Remember, when you do use your normal shoes for running, you're now going to have to compensate your paces for the fact that you're not in super shoes. Don't try to maintain the same pace as you run in your super shoes in your normal shoes, because that is definitely a recipe for getting injured. It can be tempting to do a little bit more mileage and do a few more runs because you're less fatigued after running in super shoes. Beware of this trap. Other factors in your body need time to recover from that training load. You can't just jump into more. Take extra care of your lower leg muscles whilst you adapt to the super shoes. There are various ways you can do this, such as barefoot walking, toe scrunches on a towel, or heel raises. Whatever you do, just make sure you're looking after those lower legs, because those are the parts of your body that are really taking strain as you adapt to super shoes. As with anything training related, it's personal and unique to you. How much you use your super shoes is completely up to you. Just be aware of the risks and pitfalls of using your super shoes too much before you start wearing them. Let us know in the comments below whether you use your super shoes for absolutely everything because they feel so amazing, or whether you reserve them only for those very special race days. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to GTN so you don't miss any of our future videos. Happy running.